So welcome back. I'm Beatty Carmichael with GetSellersCallingYou.com, and hopefully you have just watched the first part of this video we're talking about the teaser letter, and we just talked about the offers and how to craft an offer that works. And now we're going to talk about the tracking that causes you to be able to identify who's actually responding. We're talking about real estate letters that get listings. So if you're just joining in on this video and you have not watched the previous one first, then let me encourage you, so everything makes sense, that you go back to the previous one. It's real easy to figure out. If you look at the title of this YouTube video, it's going to say like Part 2 or maybe Part 2B or something like that. Just move that back. If it's Part 2B, then look for that same title that says Part 2A. Or if this is just saying Part 2, then look for that same title that says Part 1, okay? And then you can find the first video first and watch it in sequence. It'll make more sense. So with that said, let's move on to how do you track these people. Now the second thing you do for the teaser letter, and this is real important, is you got to figure out a way to track it. Because if you send them to a website, now this is what most agents do. They'll send them to a website, and the secret behind, the secret is behind the capture form, okay? So if you want this top 10 this report, then fill out this form. I need your name, your phone number, your email address, your date of birth, all these things, okay? And people just don't do that. They understand that once they fill it out, they're on somebody's list, and they don't want to be on a list. So you got to create a method that makes it non-threatening for them to get that information. So here's a couple things. Number one, call me. Hey, if you're thinking about selling, I've got clients that are looking in this area, and I'd love to talk with you to see if your home is a good match. Give me a phone call or text, okay? Now that's pretty straightforward, no big deal. If it's a home valuation, then you can say email me for a home valuation, or better, go to this website, whatsyourhomevalue.com. And on that website, what it'll be is just one of these home valuation websites that you pick up for 20, 30 bucks a month. Most of you guys, if you've got a CRM system that has websites built in, then you'll probably have those websites. That's my neighbor's dog barking at my dog. So the other thing that you can do, so when you use the home valuation website, it's really easy, because what happens if you're not familiar with them, someone goes to the website, they enter their home address to get their valuation, and at that point you track now the address that they're responding from. So now you know which address it is. Then as they go deeper into that, they're filling out more information, and they'll eventually request information. Here's the key. Follow up with 100% of the people that go there. Don't just follow up with the people that fill out the form ultimately at the end. Follow up with even those people who enter an address and then abandon, because what you'll find, and what we have found, is statistically speaking, you'll get the same percentage of people thinking about selling that only fill out their address as the people that fill out their information down here. So let's see if this makes sense. If I had 10 people that fill out the form up here, I might have 3 of those that actually go on the market within the first year. But for the 10 people that actually get down to the end of the row and actually fill out the contact me form, out of 10, I'll probably have about 3 people that go on the market. In other words, the percentages are the same. So always follow up with everyone. Now, the way that you do a free report is a little bit different. The easiest way to track who's responding to the free report is to use a call capture number, okay? You can just go on Google and type in, toll-free call capture number. And there's lots of companies that provide those things. And what you do is you give your pitch over the voicemail, okay? And if the pitch is too long in terms of what that report is, then the voicemail can say, hey, thanks for calling about this free report. I've been selling homes for so many years, and my homes consistently rank in the top price points because of how I coach my clients how to prepare their home. And I have a 5-page booklet that I give all my clients to begin preparing their home. And if you like it, just leave your name and mailing address, and I'll drop it in the mail to you. Okay? So it could be something like that. But you want to get them to call a call capture number, because what happens is when they call that number, it captures the caller ID of the phone number that's dialing it. So now you've got the phone number of someone who's thinking about selling, at least interested enough that they responded to that, okay? So then you can proactively follow up. The way that we do it, we've taken a little bit different approach with our clients. We've actually created what we call a tracking URL. You can't do it on your own. It takes a lot of money and programming to do, but basically the way it works for us is when we mail out these letters or postcards or whatever it may be, each one has a unique URL. And so if we're sending a letter to the Smith house and a letter to the Jones house and a letter to the Phillips house, each one of those letters has a different URL on it. And then we get them to go to the URL. When they go to the URL, that reports right there, but we track which URL is being entered, and then we match it back to the address that we sent that URL to. So now we know exactly who it is that's responding. All of these ways work, okay? And now you've got the way to follow up with people. Now, I want to be sensitive going too long on this, but hopefully if you're listening to here, if you've been watching me so far, you're probably taking notes and you're going, this is good stuff. So let me give you one last bit of advice, okay? And this is born out of a lot of testing. If it is your friends and family, your past clients, your sphere of influence people and they're responding, and you're using some sort of a call capture number, or maybe that tracking URL or something where they don't know that you're tracking them, okay? Or maybe that home valuation website, then immediately pick up the phone and say, hey Bill, this is Beatty. And Bill goes, hey Beatty, how are you? I'm saying, I'm doing great. Hey, you got a moment? I said, yeah. Hey, I just got notified by my system that you responded to my free offer on how to save money on your home, or how to get more money when you sell it, or to find out what your home is worth or anything, whatever it is. And I was just wondering, are you and Sue thinking about selling your house anytime soon? So I can be right up front if it's someone that I know. But if I'm sending this out to a list of addresses that I've never met, like maybe a geographic farm or something, don't use that approach. You will scare them away, because at that point, they think that you're pushy. And immediately they go, stay away from me, okay, like that. So what you have to do is you have to follow up differently. Now, the face visit for someone you've never met is the most important way to do it. The people who do the face visit and follow our process will get 90 to 100% of the sellers when they come on the market choosing them. Those that never visit them by face, maybe drop something off or just keep mailing stuff in the mail, whatever, those people get maybe 10%, okay? So it's a big difference. So what you need to do is do a face visit. But the face visit, you got to have an excuse. And it can't be, hey, my system told me that you guys are thinking about selling your home. I'm here to get a listing, okay? Don't do that. Because it might be 6 months from now before they go on the market. So what you want to do is you just want to build a relationship. So what you do is you knock on the door and say, hey, I'm Beatty Carmichael. I'm just out introducing myself to various homeowners around the neighborhood. And I'd like to give you a free gift. And maybe you give them like a box of cookies or something, just to be a warm information. And some information about me as a realtor. In that case, that's going to be like what we'll talk about with your persuasion letters in the next video. And you just visit and say, how long y'all been here? And do y'all know the neighbors around? Or you have any kids? Have you seen me around? Because I'm selling a lot of homes. Whatever it is, just carry on a conversation. The whole focus is to be friendly and not to be pushy. Pushy is when you start to say, and are you thinking about buying or selling anytime soon? Because I'd love to list your home. Okay, that's pushy. But once you've warmed up the relationship, say, hey, it's so great to meet you, and please tell your husband or tell your wife hello, whoever it is that you're talking to, and have a great day. Oh, by the way, let me ask you, are you guys thinking about selling your home anytime soon? Do that as an aside. You're just walking away and you say, oh, but wait, hold on, excuse me, by the way, are you guys thinking about buying or selling a home anytime soon? And at that point, because you've been a friend, because they like you, now they can trust you and say, well, we're thinking about it, maybe later this summer. Okay, well, please keep me in mind if you do. I'd love to talk with you on that when the time's right. And then you leave. Now what happens is they go, boy, I really like that Beatty guy. He's a little funny, he's bald and all that, but I love these cookies. He's so nice, he's warm and friendly. And now you've made a big point in her mind or his mind, whoever it is, that they can trust you. And then you start to proactively follow. You write a handwritten note. Hey, Jill, it was so good to meet you the other day. And by the way, here's some information about getting a home ready to go on the market. If you guys are thinking, if you follow this checklist, I think you'll do really well. Please call me anytime. Here's my card. Okay? And then you follow up, and then you follow up, and then you follow up. And you always send something of value, something to help. And now you become a trusted friend. And when they're thinking about going on the market, and they got to think about a real estate agent, you're the one that comes first to mind. And that's how you do it. So that's Real Estate Letters to Get Listings, and I hope this has been helpful. The next video is going to be focused on the persuasion letter, which is a totally different approach. So please, by the way, if you like this video, please like it, please comment on it, share it with someone else. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Okay, you'll get more of these. And if you do more than $5 million a year in volume, and you have a list of at least 100 people that you've met, past clients, sphere of influence, that you've already compiled, and you want help in actually touching that list in a much more dramatic way to drive sales, we've got a program that we've developed that doubles and triples the sales and referrals from your past clients. We actually guarantee the number of sales that you get, or we give all your money back. So if you have an interest, but we only work with people at $5 million a year or more who've got at least 100 people on their list. If you have interest in looking at that, go to agentdominator.info and you'll see more there. Thanks for watching, and hope this has been helpful. Have a great day.